If you're wondering if you're actually hearing God's voice, let me tell you what I do to try and figure it out. I didn't grow up believing in God, so the concept of hearing God's voice was actually super wild until I turned 19. I'm 29 now, and after a series of wild events, I was driving home and I felt like I heard the voice of God. 10 years later, I still believe it to be true. You can also rest in this. I don't believe that you can put God in a box. So the way that he speaks to me could be totally different than how he speaks to you, but these are some of the ways that I know pretty much will work for everyone. First one, if you're a Christian, you've definitely heard this before, and I heard it, which is, does it align with scripture? What God is saying, does it align with scripture? And I was like, make it make more sense because I don't understand. It might sound easy to some people, but for me, I was like, I need an example. I'm very much a spiritual person, but also give me a practical moment. Here's something you might be able to relate with. Let's say you feel like God is telling you to leave your job because you feel unseen, not heard, you don't like it, even though at one point you thought you were supposed to work there. This counts out toxic environments or unethical things. Colossians 3:23 says, every good work that you do, do it unto the Lord and not to other people. James 1:4 says, let perseverance do its final work so that you may be complete and mature. If you want to leave just because you don't like your boss or you don't like someone, God would probably, according to the scriptures, encourage growth, patience, and perseverance. I've learned in the hard moments you will never regret pushing through. Another way I know God is speaking is when it requires faith and obedience. Let's say you want to move cities or states and you're not sure if God is telling you to do so. All you see are the unknowns, the challenges, and the doubts, but what you probably feel is open doors, new opportunities, etc. This is probably God telling you to just trust him and know that he's going to open the door for you. He's going to catch you if you fall. He's going to be your comfort, and you actually don't have to be afraid. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the time when he's speaking, it does require a faith, which is taking a risk in the things that we don't see, but the assurance of things hoped for. We talked about this one before, but let's say you're going to get into a relationship. Let's say you want to leave a relationship. You feel like God's telling you to leave or he's telling you to pursue it. Does it produce fruit? Peace, joy, patience, kindness. Galatians 5:22, we talked about it. It is the greatest guide, in my opinion. I look at all the things in my life and I'm like, are the areas in my life producing these things? Because if they are, it's probably from God. If they aren't, well, we got to do a little bit of a check. Either I'm leaving this relationship or I'm getting into it. It's a great guide. I want to bring this one up because we all do this one, but this is the last on my list. Are other people talking about the things I'm talking to God about to me? So like, are you bringing something up to me that I was just talking to God about? I feel like the Lord loves to use people, loves to use conversation, loves to use relationships to speak to us. This one's very clear in scripture, and I've seen it in my own life. So I use that as a sign to see if God is actually speaking to me. These are just a few ways that you can tell if God is speaking to you. They're not all of them, but I hope this helps.